To order. Mr. Mock will lead us in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Any additions, corrections, deletions? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Ms. Sams. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Mock. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. Under public commentary, TJ.
Thinking about this event today, I realized I once was told ambition is simply desire translated into behavior. And during the course of that behavior, one faces obstacles. You either treat them as challenges for success or excuses for failure. And today is a perfect embodiment of that whole process. Starts with an idea from our executive director at the DDDA wanting to screen the games, translates into some other ideas, and believe Greater Dalton, Allison Coker, they support and sponsor the event. Mid-Sanford, representing First Bank of Dalton, helps out. And we have a good, successful event. But in addition to that, in addition to thanking these folks, the glory today belongs to the principals of these schools that have been so successful, the superintendents and their staff, and most of all, the coaches, the players, and their parents. Thank you for giving us all one more reason to be proud of Dalton, Woodfield area. Thank you.
Thank you.
In this endeavor, the concession sales are to be provided to all the school soccer programs. And Candace Eden, Mid-Sanford will be presenting them to the coaches with the superintendents and the principals present. So please come up.
Back this way.
Yeah,
Northwest
yeah,
Whitfield.
yeah.
We're going backwards. Dalton
Dalton
Academy.
Academy. Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, TJ. I've been at two celebrations about this in the last week, I'd say. And both times I've said, next to the carpet industry, I don't think anything's had a bigger impact on this community than what soccer has done this over the last few years, and it just keeps growing bigger and bigger. Thank y'all for what all y'all are doing. It's bringing the whole community together and bringing great honors. You know, when you make the New York Times, that's a big deal. Thank y'all. On the agenda is, I've got a proclamation for Historic Preservation Month. And who is here? Kathy, who's here from the Historic Preservation? This is for Historic Preservation Month, May of 2022. Whereas the National Trust for Historic Preservation established May as Historic Preservation Month in 1973 as a way to promote historic places for the purpose of instilling community pride, promoting heritage tourism, showing the social and economic benefits of historic preservation. And whereas historic preservation helps maintain community character by enhancing livability and gives citizens a deeper understanding of their diverse heritage and a greater appreciation of our unique historic and natural resources. And whereas historic preservation is an effective tool to build awareness with the concerns of neighborhood history, the city's heritage, and the economic benefits realized by initiating improvements and restoring a community to a thriving condition. Now therefore be it resolved, I, David Pennington, Mayor of the City of Dalton, Georgia, hereby proclaim May 2022 as Historic Preservation Month and proudly recognize our local Historic Preservation Commission for their dedicated efforts so that historic resources in our city can be preserved for future generations. Thank y'all for what y'all do. I've got something.
So typically every May, we try to award a historic preservation project, both residential and commercial, in our community. And this year we have a very special award for the Belt Gallant project for Barrett Properties. And Bob and Lizzie Caperton are here tonight, and we would like to award them with an outstanding award for their project there at Belt Gallant. So if y'all come on up, we'd like to give this to you. It took a while. It took a little bit of time, but they finally were able to get it complete. So
That's so nice. Thank you so much.
thank y'all for everything you do for our community. We're very proud of your work.
Sports meant a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We're ready for the next edition, Bob.
Yes, yes.
Minutes of the mayor and council meetings of May 2nd are before you. Any additions, corrections, deletions? Motion by Ms. Sams, second by Mr. Farah. All in favor, say aye. All
Aye.
opposed, like sign. Then we got mayor and council work session minutes of May 5th, 2022.
No move.
Motion by Mr. Mock, second by Mr. Farah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 5, it's under unfinished business, second reading ordinance 22-09 to amend pursuant to Home Rule Section 3635-3B1, the charter of the city of Dalton, Georgia, as amended particularly by ordinance as number 5-03, Section 2 and 3, to provide regulation of leasing of the city's real and personal property, to specify an effective date, to provide for severance and for other purposes. Mr. Miller.
The second reading as required by the state home rule provisions. The city has for many years had the authority to lease its property, both real and personal, and is engaged in a number of leasing transactions. Some of these are at the airport And what we've done for the first time, I think, in history is define more particularly, put some meat on the bone, so to speak, as to how the city will go about this, that it will be an arm's length transaction, that it will, particularly in a lease situation, seek to assess fair market value in the circumstances. Many leases will be less than this, but at times airport non-fixed based operators need as much as 35 years to work and capitalize the project because of the cost. So the city gives itself those powers, and on the other side limits and has a measuring standard for doing that work. So it's been before you, it's been advertised as required by law, it's been approved in first reading and adopted, and this would be the final reading, and it would go into the charter if it's approved tonight.
Any questions, Terry? Your motion? Motion by Mr. Mock, second by Ms. Sams. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. New business number 6, appointment of Elizabeth Caperton to the Historic Preservation Commission to fill the unexpired 3-year term of Carolyn Roan to expire February 1st, 2024. Motion by Ms. Sams,
Second.
second by Mr. Farrer. All in favor, say aye. All
Aye.
opposed, like sign. Number 7, Georgia Classic Main Streets Program Memorandum of Understanding for 22 and 23.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll present this request on behalf of the city and the Downtown Development Authority. This MOU would be between those 3 entities. And basically, it is an accreditation program for the city and for the Downtown Development Authority to be qualified as a Main Street program with the Department of Community Affairs. And it essentially commits the city to the following items: to appoint a board of directors for the Main Street program, which is our Downtown Development Authority board; set and review boundaries for the Downtown Development Authority; employ a full-time paid professional downtown manager, which is our Downtown Development Authority director and also Main Street program director; and provide in-kind financial support for the program, and assist the downtown manager in compiling monthly reports. This is something that comes up every year, and just wanted to get it back in front of the council. It has not gone before the council since 2019, so I felt like it was important to do that.
Motion by Mr. Mock, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sams. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. 8, work contract with Grade 1 Underground Inc. to install a required fire hydrant and associated piping, pit, and backflow prevention device at Dalton Airport.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, this project is put forth by the Airport Authority to expand our fire hydrant infrastructure at the airport for the purpose of hangar construction at the airport. So we've got 2 corporate entities that are in the early stages of construction right now. They're going to need these fire hydrants, as well as 2 more hangar sites that would utilize these. The total cost of the project would be $62,742.70. Of that, portions would be billed to the corporate entities. And then we also have a federal infrastructure grant that would cover a good portion of the remainder. So the total cost to us would be $3,730.40 after the grants and reimbursements. The work contract itself, we put out an RFP, and Grade 1 Underground won the bid. The contract was drafted by the city attorney's office and reviewed and approved by the Airport Authority via email. They will ratify this tomorrow at their bi-monthly meeting.
Any questions? Your motion? Motion by Mr. Mock, second by Ms. Sams. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 9, first reading ordinance, which is, this is going to get complicated. 22-07, ordinance to amend by home rule the mayor and council city of Dalton employees pension plan in section 1216, caption no pension benefit payable before termination of employment, pension to cease if again placed on payroll, provide an effective date, provide several been for other purposes. This is what we did before, but we
This-
didn't do it right.
That's correct,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. We don't do home rule amendments very often, and we gavelled ourselves into recess prior to taking a vote on the first reading, which is unusual, but this is really just curing that glitch that we did last council meeting.
Then it'll come before the council again for us to approve.
And
Yeah,
one
the
month.
Yeah, the next meeting.
So why do we have to approve this? Because this is just the first reading.
Well,
It's home rule.
the formality of the state's home rule statute requires, unlike most ordinances, that there be 2 readings, but that at each reading, there be a motion, a second, and an adoption. It's just a more formal process. I think the purpose was so the public would be at maybe higher notice of, we're even running a summary of it in the legal ads presently before the next meeting of the council. We're just trying to meet their standard, and I apologize to the mayor and council. I'll let you gavel out the last meeting before I spoke up and said we needed a motion and a second. The charter has always been approved for this city by the legislature or by home rule, so it has to be a home rule level amendment.
Any questions? Is there a motion? Motion by Mr.
Second.
Bach, second by Mr. Farrell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. There being no supplemental business, I'll entertain a motion. We adjourn.